What's up everybody, it's number 12 here, and today we're actually going to be continuing the tier list to part 3. So we're going to talk about Madara all the way through Haku. And this is going to be very interesting because these are all like the really strong characters. This is where everything's going to go down, and I am quite excited to review every single one of these characters and put them in the tier. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. But without further ado, let's get started. Coming up at the very first character, we got Madara Uchiha 6th Pass. Now this is a very strong character. His combos are really good. They're really fast and they got good range. This is a very good combos. His air combo could be better. I would say that's on the average part of the character. His tilt is quite unique. It's a teleporting tilt where he sends his ball is kind of around the body, and it's kind of a telltale that Madara is going to teleport. Now you can fake him out and switch your character and switch back to Madara, then attack and teleport, but it's not really that strong. In terms of teleporting tilts, I would say this is probably one of the lower side of things. I think Naruto is probably the best, or guys, or Kabuto, or I don't want to say Kabuto is better than this character, but I would say that this one's slightly better than Kabuto's. But this teleport is not really that amazing. His grab is pretty good. You don't really see it coming, and it does travel a little bit. I would say it's slightly above average. And of course, he's Madara, which means he has a very wide range of jutsus. All of them are pretty good, but the one he specializes in is the black hole, which eats all other projectiles, which is a big factor. And also it follows you, which is a tracking jutsu, which is very good for support. Very good, very awesome. And a pretty difficult ultimate jutsu to cancel into, but if you know the cancel, it shouldn't be that hard. So with all of that, I think I'm actually gonna put Madara Uchiha 6th Pass in A tier. He's a very good character, don't get me wrong, but he does have his flaws, and he doesn't have enough he doesn't have anything super strong about him to put an S tier. Now there is a very good debate that you could put this character in S tier because he is very S tier like, but I think all of his stuff is just really good, and he's just a really good character. Nothing overwhelmingly good about this character. Next up, we have Madara Uchiha. So right now, I'm actually going to do the reanimated Madara because I want to start with that one, then go to the one with the fan for next time. So this Madara is kind of insane. So this Madara, of course, just like all the Madaras, or at least these Madaras, they have the Susanoo for their combos, which it gives them gigantic range. Obviously, I would say this is probably the biggest range in the entire game, which means his combos are going to do pretty good. But this one specifically is going to be a little bit more like more better than the other Madaras. I would say this is probably the best Madara out of all the Madaras because he has range, and this is the fastest combo one, and you can cancel it easier than any Madara. See, his combos are just on point. Very good guard pressure, very good speed, very good range. Everything combo wise you want, you just pick him, and he's really good. And his air combo, it could be, it's nothing too special about it. It could be better. His tilt also could be a little bit better. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I wouldn't say it's amazing. I would just say it's kind of good. It's just kind of a counter, just a little bit counter. It leaves you wide open, but if they come too close, you just counters them. It's just pretty good if you know what you're doing. His grab is gigantic. It's actually an amazing grab. And of course, he's Madara, which means he has, I think, 3 jutsus, and I think he generically has the best one, which is the Majestic Destroyer Flame, which covers the entire screen in a very easy ultimate jutsu cancel. So I think this is a stretch, but I'm definitely confident in my answer of putting this Madara in S tier. Is mainly because he has the best range out of anyone in the game. And plus he has the speed to back it up, and you can cancel super easily. So I think just for his combos alone, they're just very strong. Also the fact that he has one of the better grabs in the game, I would say. Very good grab, is pretty huge, and very good jutsu. So I think this is a perfect example of an S tier character. Next up we have Madara Uchiha, which is reanimated release form. So this Madara is a little bit different. It's a little bit different. So his combos are slower than the previous Madara. Very slower because he has the fan. His first hit is not as fast. It's kind of worse in every possible way. I think it does have a slightly more range, but that doesn't matter when his first hit is kind of slower. His Susanoo hits are slower as well, and he's slightly harder to cancel out of. He's not as smooth like the other Madara, I would say. His air combo is kind of the same. His tilt is, I wouldn't say is worse, but is definitely, it's kind of worse. So just a little bit, just because of the fact that Madara, is very obvious what Madara is about to do. So he just pulls out his fan and he counters, but you can just do something else. Like I wouldn't say his counter is super amazing, but it's definitely not terrible. I would say it's kind of average. His growl is pretty huge. I would say you can definitely spam his growl a lot, and his jutsu is also really good. I think I'm gonna put this Madara in A tier. I think this Madara deserves an A tier, but he's a really good. Yeah, he's a really good character. It's just he's not as good as the other Madara. Not even the least bit. I definitely would say the other Madara is way better. Next up, we have Kaguya. I'm not even gonna pronounce her name because I know I'm a butcher super hard. Just Kaguya. So, anyways, Kaguya, she's a very unique character. Probably the most creative character in the entire game besides Toyuya. But we're gonna talk about each individual stuff that Kaguya has. So far, her combos, they're just kind of average. She's kind of just an average character. She's kind of slow for her combos, but they do have some range. Her air combo is a teleporting air combo, but it's kind of the worst one in my opinion, just because it comes last and it doesn't actually teleport to the opponent. It kind of just stays in the general vicinity in the air. Her tilt is very unique. It just teleports you out of existence, and you can literally just switch out and just start a combo, which is very good. I would say her tilt is actually one of the best things about her. Her normal jutsu is not, I wouldn't say it's good at all. I wouldn't really even say like even to do it, but let's get into the juicy stuff. So her transformation. So let's go with the lava form, since I think that's the most popular one. Lava form is all the attacks are unblockable. The jutsu is unblockable. The attacks are unblockable, but they do no damage at all. This is very good for Kaguya because you can just, legit just break the opponent's guard and just switch out and get a combo, which is very strong. Plus her jutsu protects her from projectiles and close range damage. So it's for one turn, for one move, which is pretty good. Her ice can attack from anywhere on the screen, and her ice jutsu can pretty much just freeze in the general vicinity. And her sand, I have seen no one use the sand form, and I think her sand form is actually garbage. You know, I would just say delete that from Kaguya and just use the first two elements. So if it was Kaguya normally, Kaguya without transforming into the dimensions, I would probably say that she's probably a C tier character. Probably a little bit worse than that. But the fact that she has so much utility or versatility at that with her stuff, you can just transform, and it is cheese, but it's cheese you can get past very easily. So I wouldn't say it's super amazing. I think I'm gonna put Kaguya in A tier. She has a lot of versatility, but she is very skillful. You will have to work with her, but you can definitely pull it off if you're good with this character. Now we have a Obito Uchiha 6-pass form. So 6-pass Obito is, gosh, this was the first, I think this was the first like legit broken character that Storm 4 put out in a while. So Obito Uchiha his combos are insane. They definitely have a lot of range and they're fast, and it's just the range that this character has is basically insane. It's almost like Madara. He has so much range and very easy to cancel out into. His air combo is pretty average, I would say. His ground is also average, or not average. It's pretty good. It's pretty okay, and his tilt is pretty good for what it does. It's pretty good for what it does. It's just supposed to annoy the opponent and kind of just stagger them a little bit, or you can get pressure off with that tilt and switch to another character. Either way, it's pretty good for what it does. And also it has he has one of the best projectiles in the entire game, which is the true seeking sword. Truth-Seeking Scorch. That's what it's called. It's literally a laser that goes across the screen, which is very good for getting instant damage off, even at long range. But close range doesn't really have too much since it can miss most of the time. It's really just a laser beam. But you can cancel it for Obito. But as support, it's not the best thing ever, but it will work. Like it's definitely a very good jutsu, but it's not the best. Obito, I think he is the epitome of a A-tier character, but if everything was a little bit better for Obito, he will definitely be a S-tier character, most definitely. Now we have generic Obito Uchiha. So Obito, his combos are kinda average. They're okay fast, and they can cancel out pretty well and do okay damage. They're just kind of just overall just average. His tilt is actually pretty good. He just shoots out some tree bark or whatever and grows a little bit, and it's very fast too, so it can annoy the opponent a little bit, but they can just jump up and dodge it, so it's not too amazing. But the fact that he just has a projectile that goes kind of mid-screen is pretty strong for Obito. His grab is kind of bad, I would say. It's not really good in any way. At max is probably average. His air combo is kind of average as well. His generic jutsu he has, the Bomb Blast Dance, I think that's very good for support. Very wide, but doesn't have any, it doesn't go very far. But you can also change it for the fire style, which fire style is always just generically really good. But overall, I think this character kind of just deserves to be in C tier. He's kind of just an average character, nothing too special about him, and yeah, I think that's how this character was supposed to be. Now we have Tobi, Great Ninja Warrior Tobi. So this character, I'm probably putting him a little bit too high on the pedestal, but I'm gonna roll with it. So Tobi's combos are really good. They're very fast. They don't have a lot of range. They have decent range, but they're not, super amazing like Obito or Madara. But they're okay. His combos are also really okay as well. His air combo, very fast, has very good guard pressure as well. His grab actually is very good. I think it's one of the only grabs that has a lasting hitbox, besides like Sasuke Uchiha Rinnegan. They have a very lasting hitbox, but his is actually like a projectile, which stays there for a little bit. And his tilt is one of the most underrated tilts in the entire game. It is literally transportation technique where you can dodge anything, and you can just counterattack. But obviously the opponent can counterattack you once you use it, but you can just use transportation technique to dodge whatever the opponent is throwing at you and switch out and instantly counterattack the opponent. So you just have 2 seconds of invincibility to do something, which is pretty wild in this game, especially when you're at close range. So yeah, I think his tilt is very underrated. His jutsu is really not that, I wouldn't say amazing, especially as support. I mean, as support it's probably more useful, but him himself is not really that good. It doesn't do a lot of damage, and it's not very accurate at all, actually. But as support, it's kind of more okay because you can kind of use it at mid to long range and it kind of covers you a little bit. But even still, there's a chance of it missing, like 50% chance of it missing if you angle it the wrong way. So it's really not amazing. But again, you can also switch that out for a fire style. And yeah, I think that's it for Obito. And he has a pretty good Ultimate Jutsu. I would say this Obito is A tier, just because of his tilt and his combos alone. Like, that's all he really needs, especially that tilt. It's very creative, very good. Alright, so now we got just generic Tobi. So I played this Tobi way too much when I was playing Storm 3 and Storm 4. This Tobi was my favorite. I'm gonna just say this for right now. Cinnamon Roll Mask Tobi is best Tobi, but not in this game. Tobi is trash. So his combos are very slow. They do have range, but they're very slow. Slow enough that if you start to... The start of Obito's combos and the end of Obito's combos are so far apart that your opponent will probably start regenerating subs before his combo even ends. Like, they're kind of very long, very slow. His air combo, very bad. It's very bad. No range at all. His tilt is not really that good. I mean, he just throws bombs out, but it leaves him wide open. This is really not that good. The only thing really good on this Obito, or one of the only things good on this Obito, is his jutsu. not his jutsu, his grab. His grab, pretty much he goes under the ground, has invincibility, and can just grab you. And if you miss, you could just switch out and just start a combo, which is very good. I would say that just that grab is probably B tier, like right there, just that grab. But if that was just all of Tobi doing that stuff, it would probably change my answer. But no, his jutsu is alright for support. It's terrible for Obito, Tobi himself, but support is pretty alright. You can use it, it protects you for a little bit, but I think his jutsu is more on lines of cheese and protection, but a lot of characters in this game can just get over that cheese. I would say, like, it's not really that good just because this Tobi's been out for a long time and people know how to counter his crap now. So it's really not that good. Plus, his ultimate jutsu cancel is just kind of slow. So I think this is going to be one of the only characters that are in F tier, sadly. Now we got Masked Man. So Masked Man is kind of a different, it's very different. So Masked Man actually has some somewhat good stuff, but he's kind of held back by more stuff. So his combos, they're kind of slow a little bit. He got no range either, so he kind of lacks in that area. Air combo's pretty garbage as well. His tilt and his grab are pretty unique. I would say his grab is one of those lasting grabs, and he kind of goes forward a little bit too. It is obvious that he's gonna come at you, but like it's all right. I would say it's probably, his grab is average, and his tilt, he throws his long chain at mid range, and he goes to a combo. But you can switch out and get a combo off, which is it's pretty good if you know how to use it. I would say that's probably the best thing Masked Man has to offer. His generic jutsu overall is not that good. It doesn't do any damage. It kind of just like a get out of jail free card, really. Like if you have no subs, just go across the map, but the opponent can just chase you. But then like you can kind of switch out, so it's really bad. Yes, it still is. He can switch out for 5 stars to get more damage. That's also a good plus with this character. And his ultimate jutsu is easy to cancel into, but I think this character is held back by a lot of stuff, especially his combos. I think this character deserves to be in D tier. It's kind of a bad character. Now we got Obito Uchiha Rampaging. Now this is a completely different story. 180. So this character his combos are just downright savage. They have a lot of forward momentum, very good guard pressure, and a lot of good resets with his air combos. His air combo is pretty decent as well. Let me see. His tilt, also one of the best things about him. So his tilt, he just, like Tobi, activates the transportation technique or combo or whatever you want to call it, and literally just dashes across the map. Now this is amazing to me because he just have invincibility, and you could just go up an opponent and you could just start a combo. That's insane to me. That's kind of like one of the best tilts in the entire game. And with his, compared with Obito, who is actually a really good guard pressure character, that's really insane. His grab is average, I would say, kind of a little bit below average because it has no range. But that tilt is what makes it all okay. And plus he has a lot of good DPS options with his jutsu or fire style, which is really good. And actually I think his wood style is a little more better just because you can use it in the air, and with in the air the support is slightly better because people won't see it coming. So I think Obito Rampaging deserves to be an A tier. This is a freaking good character. Alright, so now we got one of the best characters in the entire game, support and using it for character as well. So we got Pain. So Pain's combos are godlike. They're just godlike. They have range, they have speed, and you can slip out of them super easily, like it was like it's butter. And just the first hit is what gets me with Pain. The first hit is just so godlike, and his guard pressure is just something else. His air combo is literally miles away. Like, it's so far. And plus you can kind of bait out subs with his air combo at the end of it if they sub at the wrong time, because he throws projectiles. He has one of the best tilts in the entire game, which is what's it called? Universal pull. Literally just pulls people and just gosh, and you can get a combo off that. That's so nasty. His grab is literally godlike. It's so far away. It's so stupid. And of course, his jutsu is just Almighty Push, which is a godlike support and godlike for pain for getting damage off. Plus, he can cancel it to make it lagless. Like you can just cancel it. And, like I like how people don't see a problem with this. Like you don't see to give them anything to slow him down, but this is automatic, like an S tier character, straight up S tier character. Gosh, now we have Nagato. So Nagato, kind of similar to Pain, very similar because they're basically the same character. So the very big difference with Pain Nagato is the fact that Nagato has more range in his combos. So I don't know what it is, but his combos have a gigantic hitbox. It's almost like he has a 3-foot force field over him whenever he does combos and extends his range. So the first hit is what gives me, it's instantly fast. One of the fastest priority hits in the entire game. And you pair that with a lot of range and pair that up with very fast, powerful combos and very good guard pressure. I would say his combos are actually better than Pain by a lot, actually. His air combo is pretty weak. A little bit weak, but he can reset on a block pretty easily too, so it's not terrible. It just doesn't have range, but it does have guard pressure abilities. His tilt obviously got like S tier right there because of his universal pull. His grab is alright. I wouldn't say it's the best thing ever, but is okay. And his almighty push is better than Pain's, I would say, especially used as support because it hits multiple times while Pain only hits singular, which means it's just overall just better than Pain's in every way. So I think, and plus his, one more thing, its ultimate jutsu, if you actually use it, it's kind of like it follows you around for about 6 seconds, which if you mess up, that thing will just take you down. So if you use it at long range, it'll follow you, it'll protect you, and if your opponent doesn't realize it, he just gets hit by it. I think that should be a very good fact to point out. I think that Nagato deserves to be an S tier. Again, this is just an S tier character. He's very different from Pain, but the things he's good at, he's overwhelmingly good at. Alright, coming up, we got Konan. So Konan, probably the most underrated Akatsuki member. I feel people just don't take a look at her. She's just there. I mean, that's all she wants to be. So Konan, she has speed. She has speed on point, but the one thing she lacks in every department is range. She lacks no range whatsoever. Her combos will be amazing if they just had a mid-range, mid-tier range, but her range is pitiful. Her air combo is not that good. It's okay. I would say it's okay. It can bait out subs with the last hit, but it's strictly just okay. Her tilt again is okay. It does have decent range. It just push people back and go into a strike back, but overall, like, it does leave her wide open, so it's alright. Her grab is very fast, but has no range, but I would say it's alright. And Konan's jutsu, actually a very underrated jutsu. It follows you pretty hard, like Tamari's like jutsu. And it hits you from the air and the ground as well, so you can get very good not pressure, get very good block damage with this one. Even if they block it and they attempt to try to, they're still gonna get hit by it, which is pretty wild. And very easy ultimate to cancel. So I think Konan is the perfect epitome, perfect example of a B tier character. She's very B tier. And now we have Itachi. Do I even have to say anything? Itachi is probably the OG broken character. So I guess I might as well explain if someone doesn't know why Itachi's broken. So Itachi's very fast. I think the fastest character in the game in terms of combos, or at least the first 3 hits, which means he out prioritizes everybody. His first hit does seem small, but it's actually kind of huge. It's not like huge, but he does have more range than what he lets on. And his combos are again godlike. I think his down combo have 2 opportunities to bait subs, and it's the one where he creates shadow clones and he slashes you multiple times. And also his up combo can bait out subs because he throws out shurikens, I believe. And so that's very easy to bait out subs. And also his neutral combo can bait out subs because he throws shurikens as well. So if you sub the wrong time, he's still gonna get hit. Like, it doesn't even matter. So his combos are godlike. His air combo is godlike because you can also bait out subs because he hits twice, 1-2, 1-2, and then he puts them down to the ground. So that is very already like he's already S tier material. His grab is probably that's probably the weakest thing about him. His grab is not that good at all, but it is extremely fast. His tilt gives him invincibility. Just turns into a bunch of crows and gives him invincibility, but it has very bad it leaves him wide open. But you can just switch out and you can just be safe. So and technically it does damage, a lot of damage in fact for a tilt. So you can kind of just keep spamming back and forth, get out your free card, and just keep switching out and you'll be safe. And I feel that's kind of broken. I don't think they thought about that. But hey, I guess that's the way Itachi is. Plus, very good juices. Frost is a very good jutsu. The Shadow Clone, it's not really that good, I would say. You're kind of nerfing yourself if you do pick that, because it's kind of slow. It was faster, I would probably say it was really good. And also, Itachi is the best fire style. Fires it the best, or fires it the fastest, and also in the air, which means it's godlike support as well. So yeah, Itachi's probably like the top of A tier, like the top. Like he's super strong. And we have Kisame. Another another underrated character I don't see people using, even though this character is actually really good. He has one of the longest ranges combos in the game. Not like super long range like moderate pain, but he does have some pretty good range that he can kind of poke you out. And he has pretty good guard pressure too. His air combo can kind of just reset because of his range, and you can just go into an attack. So the weird thing is like, you can actually approach with Kisame. Like if you actually jump and use your the first hit of your air combo, that's the longest thing he has on this character. So you just poke with that, you can kind of just go straight into a combo like at mid range. Like that's insane to me. So his combos really good. His air combo is actually pretty decent just because of that first hit. His tilt is where everything kind of goes downhill. His tilt is pretty bad. Like garbage, I would say. Yeah, like I would say never use this because it's kind of bad. His grab very good for Kisame. It's a very long-reaching grab. Plus Kisame has I think 2 infinites or 1 infinite, which is very good. And his jutsu, very high damaging water style jutsu, very unique too because he's the only person that has it. So the shark style, he can cancel into it because he has an infinite. And he can also cancel, I don't think he can cancel all 3 of them, but if you can get all 3 of them, does a lot of damage. Plus they track, so you can do it at mid or long range, which is really good for this character. So he's kind of a jack of all trades, and very easy open jutsu cancel. So yeah, I would say this character is probably an A tier, one of my favorite characters in the entire series. And now we have Kakuzu. So Kakuzu, kind of different. His combos are longer than Kisame. I would say another long range character, and just turns of like straight up just combos at close range. But his combos are a lot slower, I would say, but not slow. But yeah, I would say people kind of pick Kabuto for his range. He's kind of known for that. So his combos, I would say, are okay. They don't have a lot of good guard pressure, but they do have range. His air combo, I will say it's pretty good, not for the first like 2 or 3 hits, just before the last hit, because it can go into a strike back, and I feel that is another vital thing you need to do with Kakuzu. Abuse the strike back, because that's kind of his thing. His grab is also very long range because that's kind of his thing. He has range. So you're probably gonna hit his grab a lot of the time. His tilt's kind of garbage. It does have a lot of range, but you can't really get anything off of it, and I wouldn't suggest you use it at all. His jutsu, very good, not for Kakuzu, but mainly for using as support. I would say it's pretty good, but moves that can be used for themselves and as support are the best moves in the game, like Hinata's air palm or Neji's rotation. You know, they can be used for themselves or for support. But if they can only be used for one of them, if a jutsu is only good for support, it's really not the best in the game. So his jutsu is very good for support, but it's bad for himself. So it's kind of alright. and his ultimate juice is pretty easy to cancel into. So I would say Kabuto is mainly just B tier. I think he can get out prioritized by a lot of stuff, especially once you get close to him. And the only thing he has is range, but if you know how to get past that, he's really not too big of a threat besides his support. Now we have Hidan. So Hidan is kind of kind of similar to Kakuzu, but at a lesser extent. So his thing is he kind of has speed and range and guard pressure in his combos, but his combos are probably the best thing about him. Everything else is kind of not that good. So of course Hidan's combos I would say is really good. You can get a lot of resets off with his air combo. No, you can't actually. I think his combos are just really good, really good guard pressure, but his air combo I think it's really bad. It's very bad, I think. I don't really remember too much. I think he can hit from all sides, but it's not, the first hit is very inaccurate, which means it's kind of bad. His tilt, I believe he throws his I don't know what that's called. I believe he throws his sword, I'm just calling it, or his scythe out, and you can kind of link it up with someone else. So that's also really good for what it's supposed to do. If it went into a combo, that would have been way better. His grab is kind of okay. It hits in front of him, and that's about it. His jutsu is garbage. Actually, one of the worst in the entire game. That leads into a combo tilt and does no damage as him or support. It is very inaccurate too. So I would say that's the only really bad thing about this character. And I think Hidan is really a C tier character. There's nothing too amazing about him. He's just kind of overall kind of average, I would say. And now we have Deidara. So Deidara, it's a pretty big. You can make a debate for any, for two long range characters for being the best long range character, Shino and Deidara. Now they're very close together at being the best, but I think Shino's the best because he has more to offer. But that's not saying Deidara is trash in any way, shape, or form. I think he's very close behind Shino. They're very debatable of who is the best long range character. So Deidara is a very good long range character. He's more of the aggressive style while Shino's more passive. So it's kind of just it's kind of subjective to who you think is better. So Deidara is kind of just all in. So Deidara's combos are simply amazing. They have very good versatility. His down combo, you can set traps. His neutral long combo, you can just move across the stage and go into the air for your air long range combo. His up combo legit confirms damage because it literally just links up into a combo and it legit works. Grab's pretty bad, but his tilt is very unique. Tilt is he set more traps out that follow you, and even if you switch out, they're still there, which is very unique. So a lot of versatility with this character. Plus he has strike back. He has strike backs with his air long range combos. Actually, all of his stuff have strike backs, but majority of his stuff, I think, his neutral long range combo and his just air long range combo, which is very good for a long range character. So he can get a lot of damage potential off with his strike back. His jutsu, pretty good, I would say, for keeping the opponent off you, which is you're supposed to do because this is a long range character. I think I'm pretty confident with my answer when I say that Deidara deserves to be an A tier. They're like Shino and Deidara are very close together, but it just kind of the playstyle you want to be. You want to be more aggressive, tactical. Then you can pick Deidara. If you want to be more passive, tactical, and tactical, and legit just kind of wait for your opponent to do something, then pick Shino. But these are very good characters. And now we have Sasori. So big disclaimer: I'm not a puppet master specialist. So my rating of this character is probably gonna be very inaccurate. But this is I might as well say it because I don't know the ins and outs of the puppet master, but I do think Sasori is the best puppet master. So his combos are very good. Plus he only uses one puppet, which means there's less chance of him getting knocked down because his hitbox is way too big. His combos are very fast and they do a lot of damage. What else? His tilt, very good. It legit just dashes in and poisons them, which is very unique for tilt. His grab pulls them into a strike back. I think that's probably the biggest thing with this character that grab puts him into a strike back, and that grab is very fast too, and he links it up with pain. That makes it seem overpowered, but that is just very good. He's not very overpowered, but just very good. His jutsu, there's actually two jutsus. The one on the ground, the one on the air. So the one on the ground is probably very good because he can be used at any point on the ground, and the one in the air, I think it does more guard damage. I think, I'm not too sure about that, but they're both really good as well. So his jutsu is very versatile because it can be used at any point, and as support, it is very good. I would say Sasori has the best jutsu out of any puppet master. Yeah, have any puppet master. And I would say Sasori has the best grab out of any puppet master because it goes into a strike back, which increases DPS by a lot. So yeah, I think Sasori, I don't think he's S tier, but I do think he is A tier. Sasori is a very good character in this game. Now we have the Kazekage. So most of the dead characters are going to be underrated a lot, especially the Tsuchikage, but the Kazekage I would say is probably one of the better ones of the dead Hokage. So he's kind of similar to Gaara, and it's very debatable that he's better than Gaara, but I would say Gaara is slightly better. But I think the fourth Kazekage is not too far back. He's pretty good. So his combos are kind of like Gaara's, where they kind of just hit from the side. He has decent range as well. His combos are very short and very powerful. His air combo is kind of similar to Gaara, but he can bait out subs because of his air combo. The last hit, I think he throws projectiles, which if you set the wrong time, he hits you twice. Grab is not as good as Gaara's, but I would say it is very good. It has a very big hitbox. And his ultimate jutsu, his tilt, I would say that's the worst thing about this character. He doesn't, it's not unblockable, but I believe it's faster than Gaara's. So overall, I would say it's kind of worse because Gaara's, you can legit just get damage off. And his jutsu is actually kind of terrible for the Kazekage himself. I don't think, because there's no way to cancel into it, and it doesn't do a lot of damage, and they can just guard it. But as support, it's kind of godlike. It will protect you. So I think the Kazekage, I'm gonna put him around the same tier as Gaara, which was B tier. And I do believe that this character is B tier. He has a lot of good stuff, but not super amazing. Now the third Raikage, he's very average. I would say his combos, are kind of the worst things about him. They have no range. They don't have a lot of distance or forward momentum. He kind of just stays there, and his air combo is pretty bad, and he doesn't have that much block pressure, guard pressure. So his combos are really just the worst thing about him. His tilt is really not that good either. It does have some distance, but it leaves him wide open, and it's kind of inaccurate most of the time. His grab is very small. Like very, very small actually. You know what, maybe he's not average, maybe he's below average. I don't know. But his jutsu is probably the really good thing about him. As support, it's just a lariat that goes short distance, which means it's not really that good for support because you can just pick something better. And his jutsu, using as Raikage, you can cancel it up for more damage. But like that's all he really has. He has okay combos, very bad air combo, very bad tilt, very bad grab, and a decent ultimate jutsu. I would say this character is over like C tier or D tier. I think that's all he's really got, but I think I'm gonna put him in C tier. Now we have the second Tsuchikage. I think this is probably the most underrated of the underrated characters. Nobody plays this character, and the weird thing is he's actually has some pretty decent stuff. So Tsuchikage's combos are they have mid-range distance. They're okay. They have some distance, but they're kind of a little bit slow, especially the first two hits. So you're not really getting too much stuff with his combos. Plus, he has no block pressure at all. His air combo is pretty good too. His air combo is pretty good because of the fact that I think the second hit he rotates rocks around him, which do actually hit behind him. So if they sub, they can get hit by those rocks, which means you can bait out a sub and get away scot-free. for the air combo if they sub incorrectly. His tilt is very unique and very powerful, I would say. It's literally just a projectile that acts as a trap. So if they stay there, they're going to constantly get hit by that trap, which is very good actually. There's not many projectiles be used as a tilt. I think Danzo's, Maze, and this one, and the Anoki has projectiles for the tilt, and I think that's very, very good. The tilt is probably one of the best things about him, and his jutsu is, I mean not jutsu, his grab is kind of okay. It's not super good, but it's okay. His jutsu, very, very, very underappreciated jutsu. So this jutsu, if you do get trapped by it, you take instant damage. You can't sub, you can't move. So with this, if you're good with it, you can actually get someone caught in this jutsu, and you can just cancel into an ultimate jutsu with another character. So using this as support, oh man, if you know how to use it, oh, you can get free damage off if they're not looking. This is one of the jutsus that it forces them to sub, because they do not want to get caught by this. Or you can use it for himself. You can cancel it. It's not confirmed, but it's like it's a 50-50. You can use it instantly and they won't know it, or you can use it very late in your combo and they just get caught by it. So I think with all that, very, very underappreciated character, I think I'm gonna put him in. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put him in B tier. I think if people really knew what he could do and how much potential he has, I think he can be a actual threat, especially that jutsu. Now we got the second Mizukage. So this one, I think this is probably the perfect example of a long range character. So this guy does the best at long range. Like, he has water bullets that go long range. He has, I think he's up long range combo. He does a trap, or not a trap, a whirlpool. His down long range combo summons a water dragon just off the bat, and his neutral one just a water bullet, which is is very good. There's no combo that confirms anything like Deidara's or Shino's, which means he is worse than them because they have actual damage that follows up. His jutsu, very inaccurate. The streaming danger tranny boy is okay. It doesn't have any. It's kind of bad. What am I talking about? It's kind of bad. His tilt is all right. He summons like a bigger version of the streaming danger tranny boy, which he kind of explodes, but it leaves him wide open, just wide open. And his grab is not really that good either. It's probably the worst thing about him, actually. Yeah, but he can switch out for the water dragon jutsu, but it's really not that good. Especially this character, I think this character just belongs in C tier. But actually, I'm gonna put this character in D tier. Like, he doesn't have a lot of good tools, and he can easily just be countered very easily. And you can just use a better long range character. Nothing really to go off of. I think this is a very good D rated character. Alright, so now we got Hanzo. So Hanzo is actually one of these characters that people just don't play. But I still see, like, the people who do play Hanzo, they do really well with him. So Hanzo had a lot of range. More than the average characters. Like, he actually has range. Very good combos. He got good infinite combo. He has good combos. Very, very good. Do a lot of damage. His air combo could be better. I would say could be better. Just very, very average. His tilt. It's a defensive tilt, but you can instantly go into a combo, which is very, I'm gonna say bad, because I'm gonna say it's pretty bad. It's not terrible. I would say it's just kind of average. The fact that he can poison you with, I think Ibuse, I think that's his name, is very good. I think that's very unique. And if they get too close, you can just get poisoned and slowly die of poison, which is very good. I think poison is the most rare status that I think people don't take advantage of, and the characters that do poison should be rewarded a lot more for that poison. His jutsu is pretty long range too. It's kind of like 10-10's grab. Shippuden 10-10's grab is very long range. It's very good. I'll say, and Hanzo's jutsu, he can link it up with to do more damage, but overall as a support, it's really not that good. So I think that this Hanzo actually has the potential to be an A tier character. He's very good. He's very good, but people just don't give him the time of day because he's not, you know, Naruto or Itachi or any costume or any of the important side characters. But there's some pretty good stuff. All right, going down to the last 3 characters. So now we have Chiyo. So Chiyo, again, I'm not putting my specialist, but I will say my opinion on this character. So this character, I would say her combos are very average for a puppet master, but overall, I think she's probably the third place for puppet master. I would say Conqueror and Sasori are way better than her. I would say her combos are very average. Her air combo very inaccurate, but it does do a lot of damage and can get the catch the opponent off guard most of the time because there's 2 of them hitting. So I would say it's okay. The tilt, I would say, is pretty bad, specifically for a puppet master, because most of the tilts that Sasori or Conqueror or even PTS Conqueror, when they use her tilt, their puppets do most of the work. But for her, she has to be close up, and you don't really want to be close up with the puppet master. You don't want to be close up at all, actually. And the fact that she actually goes into a combo means that she could just get sub. You could just sub the opponent, and they can just take the advantage of you, which you don't want to do that either. So her tilt's actually kind of worthless. Her grab is okay. It's okay. Like the opponent won't see it coming if they're far away, but you can't get anything off like Sasori can, because he's the only puppet master that can go to a strike back, and that's why I think he's the best. Her jutsu as support is kind of useless because it's kind of useless because she can just get hit, and it does do a lot of pressure, but that's all it really has. If you hit any of the 2 puppets or her, the support stops, which means it's kind of a bad support. And for using as Chiyo, it does a lot of damage and does a lot of stuff. So as Chiyo, it's pretty okay. Ultimate Jutsu wise, her Ultimate Jutsu is very hard to cancel up with because Sasori and Conqueror, they can use her Ultimate Jutsus at farther range, at mid range at least, especially Conqueror at least at mid range. She has to be very close up to use your Ultimate Jutsu, and most of the time you're not going to be close up whenever you use Ultimate Jutsu. So most of the time you're not going to be getting this Ultimate Jutsu off. You're probably going to switch now to a different character, which is a big nerf on her part. So yeah, I think I am pretty confident in my answer when putting Chiyo in D tier. So I think people put her higher on the tier list because of her awakening. Her awakening is pretty broken, but her as herself, she doesn't have a lot to offer, or utility, or power, or really anything that any other puppet master can do. So overall, she's kind of not that good. And now we have the last 2 characters, which is Zabuza and Haku. So let's do Zabuza first. So Zabuza, very good character. Pretty much anyone who has a weapon in this game, it has some pretty decent range. I think Zabuza has very good range because he has his blade. His combos are very good, very easy to cancel out of, very fast, do a lot of damage. You know the whole gist. Very good combos. Air combo, it could be better. His first hit doesn't hit most of the time, but he does have some pretty good guard pressure because he can continue it to the second hit and reset his guard pressure. Plus his air combo is not the best, but it's okay. His tilt, he dashes in at the opponent and he goes pretty far, like Tsunade far, and you can just switch to a different character and continue pressure, which is very good. He can give someone else guard pressure. His grab, probably the worst thing about him because his grab is pretty small. And I do believe he has the biggest water dragon jutsu. Plus he can combo into it to get more damage off, which is very good. User support, I wouldn't say it's amazing at all. I would just say it's very good because he has a bigger water style, bigger hitbox, which means it's probably going to be hitting at support a little bit more than the smaller ones. Plus, as himself, he can cancel it. So, cancel into it to get more damage. So that's really good. And his ultimate jutsu is very easy to cancel into. So I would say he is very good for. I would say he's very good for B tier. He's a very good B tier hero, or B tier character. If he had another jutsu, and if his tilt and grab were better, he would probably be an A tier, maybe even S tier. But yeah, he's just a really good character. So now we have Haku. So Haku is one of those characters where you really do have to try your best to get stuff off, I would say. So her combos, they have amazing guard pressure, and they're pretty long. I would say they're a little bit above average. Just because like she has pretty good guard pressure, pretty powerful combos, but they are kind of long to execute, which means they're not really, you know, amazing. Her air combo is pretty good, very good for resetting on the block, and it's not really that long in the air, so it's overall just kind of a little bit above average. Her tilt's pretty good, I would say, very good for switching out and just throwing projectiles, and you can back away or you can go in. Either way, you're giving your team a lot more options. Her ground, kinda average, nothing too special about it. Her jutsu, I would say, is very bad. It doesn't track super hard, but it does track. It does a lot of damage. You can cancel into it, but it doesn't, like, it won't really hit most of the time. It's mainly due to her support. Her support is not really that good. Like, it will miss most of the time, plus you can just jump over it and it doesn't follow you like Amaterasu. So it's almost like, why aren't you using Amaterasu? Like, that's kind of like a big thing. But like, I would say it's a pretty bad jutsu overall. And her ultimate jutsu is pretty easy to cancel into. So I think Haku deserves to be in C tier. He's just, he doesn't have anything amazing on this character, and he's overall just kind of average. Alright guys, we are finally done with this part of the tier list. We got some S tiers, we got some A tiers, and some B tiers, and then some people who are just kind of not good at the game. And yes, I am looking at Cinnamon Roll Tobi. But next episode, we are actually going to be doing, I think I'm just going to sum up the rest of the characters. So we're actually going to be doing Yugito all the way through Kinshiki. And I think that would be, then that'd be the end of the tier list, but that won't be the end of the tier list special I have going on. I'm gonna have something after this part, which I'm going to do after I do this part of the tier list. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy yourselves, make sure to leave a like down below. Make sure to tell me who will you change in my tier list, like what difference would you make, and you know, I may consider changing in the future, who knows. But thank you guys for watching. My name is Zero12, and I'll see you guys next time.